Hi, I'm Christine with Torrance City Cable, and today we're checking out the city's pilot program called Downtown Does Dining Al Fresco.
It's my birthday, and my friends surprised me with some tea time.
It's been a while since Vanessa Hernandez has been able to enjoy an afternoon outdoors like this.
It is very important because it gets a little overwhelming having to stay in the same room with the same people and not being able to enjoy stuff like this and feel the breeze in your face as you're hanging out with your friends.
Her friend Yuvia Jimenez says this relaxing atmosphere is exactly what she longed for while staying safer at home.
I love it. And I mean, there's not a lot of people. We're obviously being careful. The tables are pretty separated. So this has been a good experience for us.
Streets on Sartori between Post and Marcelina are blocked off so more restaurants can offer unique dining experiences.
Beer garden style is very popular in summertime in Japan. So I try to happy hour like a beer garden style in United States.
Tomoko Kobayashi works longer hours than usual to accommodate as many takeout and patio dining orders as she can.
My restaurant very slow from January. Yeah, because Asian restaurant, so people scared to come to my restaurant.
In addition to the escalating racial tensions due to the coronavirus, Tomoko shows me an article about surviving a traumatizing incident.
I got gunpoint in Gardiner in the Japanese bank 2 times.
She says the suspects injured her hand and are still at large. Despite the hardships she's faced this year, the sushi chef has been busy posting her daily specials on social media and says she's appreciative of every customer.
I hope everybody stay healthy and then keep healthy and then stay safe.
The pilot program also encourages people to visit businesses just outside of the closed-off area, like Keegan's Sports Lounge and Grill.
It really took a toll on us having to be closed for the past 3-4 months. A lot of us, this is our main job, so losing out on a great tip job, it's like we didn't really know how to cope with it.
But Christy Lopez says since reopening, she's happy to see her regulars and new customers filling in their beautiful outdoor space.
Everyone's coming back to see us, which is nice. Tipping us even more, which is great, obviously. But primarily being able to get back on our feet, pay our bills, support our families, whatever we have to do.
She hopes more sports fans will check them out the next time they're in the area.
We have a beautiful happy hour every day, 4 to 7, $3 wild drinks, $3 Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light. We are not kid friendly, I'm sorry, it's a bar only, but we do serve food, and pets that are service dogs are welcome.
The alfresco dining program may be seasonal, but these small businesses are here year-round and could really use your support. To see a full list, you can go to torranceca.gov/COVID-19. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Hi, I'm Christine with Torrance City Cable, and today I want to introduce you to a restaurant in downtown called Miyabi Uni. My husband and I biked here a few weeks ago, and we noticed that they were selling some unusual things, and so I just wanted to check in and see how they've been doing during this pandemic. Do you like shave ice?
Yeah,
What do you like the best about it?
I like the best about it because I like ice.
6-year-old Juliana and her family cool off with $3 shave ice in a place that's typically known for much pricier food options.
Uni means seaweed in Japanese. That's our main ingredients for many of our dishes here. We use it for pasta, sashimi, sushi, anything I can imagine. We even make ice cream with a sea urchin.
Shintaro Yano has managed Miyabi Uni since it opened in 2017.
I think we're like a very unique restaurant. We have diners visiting us from New York, China, Korea, Japan. I remember some guests was driving from Las Vegas too. So it's a niche restaurant, so people were taking time to travel all the way up to here.
But he says everything changed the moment COVID-19 started making headlines.
I remember like March 2nd, all of a sudden the sales dropped a lot. And then since the lockdown, we pretty much lost the business. Right now, we only have probably about 20% of the sales from previous year from the same time.
Tables that were once filled with customers now sit empty, and colleagues who worked alongside Shintaro and his chef are gone.
It's hard, yeah. It's sad. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of them. My coworkers, yeah. It's sad that I still remember the moment I had to inform them, oh, we gotta let them go.
Have you ever had to do that before?
Not like this. Yeah, not like this.
Shintaro also lived and worked in both Japan and Hawaii. He says current circumstances remind him of other difficult chapters of his life.
When I was living in Hawaii, we had the SARS and we have the Iraqi war. So in that time, since Hawaii is like a tourist-based island, we lost all the tourists. Waikiki was nearly empty.
He says when situations seemed hopeless, his neighbors stepped in.
The reason why a lot of business survived at that moment, that hard moment, because like a lot of local guests were supporting us. Even though we were in Waikiki, it's like Waikiki is not the spot for local people, but we still remember a lot of like local people were trying to support us as much as they could. So this is more difficult situation, but I think I had the idea how to survive.
That priceless experience taught Shintaro about the importance of loving his neighbors, especially the elderly ones who live in this condo complex that's attached to Miyabi Uni.
They were asking us if we have some eggs to spare for them. That's why we ended up just carrying the stuff that we have hard time buying at the grocery stores. I knew our suppliers were still having the chicken or the eggs, so we were just selling at pretty much at the cost.
Shintaro's idea to offer more affordable menu items also came with his desire to give back.
Every single guest has to be treated equal. Doesn't matter how much they spend. It's important for your business. So I know like a lot of places are charging like $6, $7 for shave ice, but come on, it's just shave ice. So something that we can offer to our neighbor under this hard situation. That was the purpose for starting to do that. I have two boys too, 11 years old and 8 years old son. And if there is something like, for example, like shave ice and my neighbor, I will buy it.
In return, local customers are starting to show up.
We're all going through a crisis right now, and so it's important, I came in here to buy some shaved ice for my kids.
Some guests are taken out 3 times a week. So luckily we are supported for like nice neighbors. I think that's our mission. Let's stay open for the people who wants to support us. So that's like something motivating us to keep open, I guess.
He hopes more people will consider trying their sea urchin dishes or even a bowl of shave ice the next time they're passing by.
Just don't forget about us. If they don't forget about us, I'm just hoping, we can reopen back to normal. We're hiring all our staff. So, yeah, it's just, I know it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Since filming that video, the city launched a pilot program called Downtown Does Dining Al Fresco. And Shintaro says, thanks to that program, business has been picking up. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you again in our next video. Hi there, I'm Christine with Torrance City Cable, and today I am out here at Smog City Brewing with Lori Porter, one of the owners here. We got together a few weeks ago and I created a story that I wanted you to watch.
May would have been our 9-year anniversary at Smog. Last 2 years we've had these giant events out in our parking lot, and we invite all of our customers in and we have a big celebration, and this year we did it on Zoom.
Adjusting to new norms has been the story of Lori Porter's life since the coronavirus pandemic threatened to shut down her family business.
I keep joking that craft beer is clearly essential because people continue to buy it, but really the truth is that customers are really invested in small businesses and companies that they're loyal and love.
When the stay-at-home mandate began, Lori said she had to take a step back and reassess how to move forward.
We took it down to bare bones. We canceled every subscription. We canceled every expense that we could not have. We took all of our employees, and they were either absolutely essential to continue or we had to furlough them for a short term.
Determined to transform every obstacle into an opportunity, she and her team started to think outside the box. For example,
we got a phone call from our distributor saying, hey, we've got all these kegs that we purchased in the 2 or 3 weeks before the safer at home mandate, and there's no bars and restaurants. So now you're going to have to buy back oodles, hundreds and hundreds of kegs from us. And we started doing the numbers. We're like, this is insane. We can't after what we have taken, the hit we've taken over COVID, we can't now double down on this debt from our distributor.
Still, she says they bought back some of the beer, started a Save Our Beer campaign, and even hand-delivered them to their customers for the first time.
We always thought it would be fun to deliver beer, and seeing the smiles on the customers' faces made it so amazing.
Another problem they faced was having to rebrand beers that were already slated for release.
And when my husband told me that Daily Breeze was ready to release on the Wednesday after the Safer at Home mandate, I was like, that is the worst name. Nobody wants to see a beer called Daily Breeze in the middle of the scariest pandemic in the history of all of us. And so we instantly changed it to quarantine machine, and it took off.
Now Lori says they're introducing a series of 5 COVID-19 inspired beers, each one getting stronger than the last, all wearing a mask, pairing well with uncertainty, and best enjoyed 6 feet apart.
You know, the first month and a half, it was really unstable. There was a lot of insecurity and fear. You're going back and forth trying to figure out how to either save your company or whether you're going to close or whether regulations are going to change. But in that time, we also found and sort of dug really deep into our skill set of survival instincts and found an amazing strength in our company to be able to pivot it to new opportunities and new outlets very quickly to survive and then sort of to come out in an equilibrium.
Learning to roll with the punches allowed Smog City to rehire most of its employees.
Toby here is actually transferring one of my favorite sour browns into Benny, which is this big, beautiful barrel. We call the beer Benny and the Bretts. But yeah, so I think we had 28 employees before COVID. All of them but 2 have come back, and we're actually looking at hiring employees.
As the world continues to reopen, Lori says they're actually planning to expand beyond their 3 existing locations.
We have a 4th tap room that's been in the works for 2 years. It was supposed to open in June, and of course with COVID everything slowed down, but now the developers say they're going to be opening as soon as possible. So that one is Glendora Public Market. It's in Glendora out the 210. It's going to be such a beautiful space. It's an old historic Wonder Bread facility. I think our licensed space where you can actually drink our beer is about 5,000 square feet. So it's enormous. It's got indoor and outdoor. There's going to be food vendors throughout the marketplace that you can get food from. I'm excited about it, but it's also scary because moving into a whole nother business in the middle of this is daunting. Welcome home, Mama and Papa. When you had done so much work, just sit down here and have a beer. And then there's an arrow saying, beer!
Lori and her husband prioritize their son as they work together during this pandemic and hope they can teach him a valuable lesson.
I think it's inspiring for him to see what we've done and how we work. We always joke that he's the 3rd board member because he's always in the middle of all the conversations, and he actually has a lot of opinions. So I think it's a dynamic and rich life that he's living. I focus on him a lot. I take him to school in the morning, I go to work, I pick him up from school in the afternoon. Now I'm with him all day, and so I really prioritize family. I prioritize him as the next generation, that if I fail him, then what's the point of doing well with Smog? So it's challenging. You know, I always love those, I love the memes where it's just like moms just can't be perfect in everything. You're going to fail at all of it. But at least we're working really hard and trying, and we're filled with love, and we love our business and our jobs and our family. So.
Lori says she's excited to welcome back Smog City fans as tap rooms reopen.
Tap rooms will look different. We're going to be expanding our licensed premises here into the parking lot. There'll be more outdoor patio space, open air space to give us room for customers to have separation, but also have the open air with plenty of circulation.
She hopes their beers have helped them to stay afloat during these hard times.
I told my husband on the first week, I said, what would be most important to me through the next who knows how long, we thought it would be a month or 2, was for our customers to have had Smog with them during the pandemic, so that we were part of the positive side of it, that they thought back and said like, oh yeah, we had those happy hours with saber-tooth squirrel or coffee porter got me through my evenings. Now that we've spent 3 months apart, it's going to be even more important to find connectivity and to come back together.
Lori sent me home with a few of her favorite beers. This one is called White Peach Saison. It is actually made with farmers market peaches. Isn't that cool? This is coffee porter. It's her absolute favorite. And then I love the artwork on these. It's called From LA with Love. And I think it pretty much summarizes why I love craft breweries so much, especially during a time like this. It reminds me that I'm a part of this beautiful LA community, especially during the moments that I'm feeling isolated or lonely because of COVID-19. Well, Lori, since we filmed that story together, so much has changed, as things typically do these days with this pandemic.
Yeah, it feels like our business changes by the hour at this point. You know, we're constantly adjusting and adapting to the situations that are coming down from the state and county. Right after you and I met, we were able to open our tap room for a blessed 2 weeks, and it was amazing. We had a 4,000 square foot outdoor patio seating area with food vendors that showed up every day, and It was a really wonderful and invigorating time. And then unfortunately, as you know, we came up on the rollbacks, and so breweries in LA County are actually not allowed to partner with caterers or third-party vendors like a food truck anymore. Unless you have your own kitchen on site, you can't be open. So we've had to roll back to go sales and home delivery, and adjusting back to the old ways.
So tell me about this reality of overcoming yet another obstacle, because we talked about so many ways you guys got creative during these difficult times. I mean, how's that momentum right now?
It's hard to get momentum. It's really difficult because when we in the beginning it was just go, reinvent, and then we got to the reopening phase, and we're like, okay, this is the new situation. We hired back all of our employees, we did all of our protocols, everything. It was a lot of complicated situations that happened, but we got up and running, and then we're almost immediately returned to pre-opening situation with the to-go. And unfortunately for us, fortunately for restaurants, but for us, restaurants are allowed to be open. And so we've not seen the bounce back of revenue that we were hoping. We haven't been able to return to that pre-reopening situation that we were in. So we're trying to be creative again. We're looking at ways to make our virtual marketplace more attractive, more educational, more engaging. We're working with our state and county associations to try and talk to the Board of Supervisors and LA County Health to figure out exactly why we have these limitations on our specific industry. So we're kind of at this point pivoting a little bit away from trying to be creative in our business and more pivoting towards trying to really understand what the regulations mean for us, how long they're going to last, and what we can do as we move forward.
And you said you have a lot of loyal customers that call on a daily basis?
All the time. Our staff is so fed up with it because they have to say no. So we get calls all day, every day, asking if they can drink on site. And of course, as soon as we say no, they go somewhere else. So it's difficult on our staff especially, because I think that they thrive on the community and the customer interaction. They really thrive on having a relationship with the customers that come in and our fans, and it's just been real tough.
And I mean, this is just one example of one brewery, but Torrance is known for having a lot of local craft breweries, and so it's affecting all of them, right?
Yeah, I think we have a small handful, one or two, that are allowed to be open because they have kitchens on site and a health department permit for that location. But all the rest are closed down. So, and back to go. Not technically closed, but they're selling to go and doing home delivery.
What is the one thing that you want viewers to take away from watching your story?
I think just, the same conversation we have all the time, even pre-COVID, which is support local, support small businesses. We're part of the community. We live here, we work here, we send our kids to school here, our employees come from here. We're an indelible part of Torrance, and we really hope that our customers will continue to show up and buy beer and take advantage of our home delivery options so that we can continue to make beer in Torrance and sort of weather the storm, as they say, and come out on the other side stronger.
Well, thank you, Lori, so much for spending a few minutes with me today.
Absolutely, Christine. Thank you for coming back and seeing me and checking in.
Definitely, and thank you so much for watching at home. We'll see you again soon.